Some people might have said that this is a good book. I don't know.
Something like that.
Yeah, first appearance of this little Canadian fella.
Yeah.
Oh, hello there. Welcome back to the West Coast Davengers. I'm your host, Dave. Today I'm bringing you a little bit of both, a swap meet and a collection. So let me give you the quick backstory. Before we get started, though, I'm going to ask you to hit the like button and drop a comment down below. What was the favorite thing that you saw that I got? Subscribe if you're not, and if you are subscribed, hit the bell. It's going to notify you when I go live. Every other Wednesday I go live, and you can buy stuff right here on this channel. My buddy Jacob, who is one half of the Paper and Plastic YouTube channel. He is Bin Sifter on Instagram, Dr. Plagueis as well. You probably see him in the chat sometimes for my live sales. He helped start a first ever swap meet, comic swap meet in Yakima, which is pretty much central Washington, right past Mount Rainier and over the Cascades. And it's pretty much the hottest place in the summer in the state of Washington. He was holding it at Yakomix, which is a new store in Yakima run by Oren, and you'll see some of that inside of that store and meet Oren. But the other reason I was going was because Jacob bought a very interesting comic collection 3 days prior, and it contains some amazing books, keys from the Bronze Age, some from the Silver Age, a lot of weird underground stuff, horror, stuff that I specialize in. You know, I was really interested to see it, and because Jacob doesn't really full-time sell, he wanted to sell a bunch of the collection to me because he wanted to help me get some new books to sell. Inventory, friend helping friend, synergy. So I'm going to show you the swap meet, and then after that you'll see me go to Jacob's house and look through the collection, and we'll come back here and I'll show you just some of the highlights and some of the weird stuff. I'm not going to show everything because I don't want to sit here all night doing that. So why don't we go take a drive to Yakima, Washington, to the Yakomix location and the swap meet. Here at the first ever comic swap here in Yakima.
Yeah. Yes,
Did I say it right?
Yeah, Yakima. Yeah.
And I'm here with my buddy Jacob, aka Dr. Plagueis, aka Mr. Paper and Plastic.
Yeah.
Any other nicknames everybody should know you by?
None that we should disclose.
No, we won't talk about that. And you gonna take a walk around the swap?
Do please.
Yeah. It's newsprint. I'm kind of all for it. The fondling figure I have is the Adam West. Oh yeah. That's fine. I'm getting it. Yeah. Oh yeah.
Oh, there's more stuff back there.
I saw those. When you get back over, I was going to go play rounds. If you're hungry and you want another sandwich, I have one in the bag.
Yeah, I'll hit you up here in a little bit. I'm like on massive caffeine high right now, so I'm trying
That's
to
why I'm I can eat.
I might need to. But if you're looking for anything particular, happily.
No, just digging.
It's half the fun.
I would say it's
All the fun.
75% of the fun.
Yeah. Spending is like 10% of it.
I mean,
Finding.
it's something I want. Sometimes it's even if it's something I don't want.
Yeah,
Or I didn't know I wanted.
I didn't know I needed the first meet of Batman and Swamp Thing, and then I saw it today, and I need it.
Set in, was that Swamp Thing 7?
Swamp setup. Yep. Yes, sir.
And it's Bernie. And, you know, Bernie writes and rules all. Let's see, Jacob, why don't you lift some books up? Let's see what we got. Come on, you gotta be my little... You gotta be my assistant director.
Oh, old one.
Yeah, those are old slabs. Ooh, look at that. Some Larson goodness.
Busted. That's got to be
Busted.
busted. Yeah. I was thinking about just cracking it and putting it back.
Wow, you graded some books a long time ago.
I did. Yeah, the original, and these are all up. I've upgraded all these, so. Wow.
I love the old slabs. They're so easy to crack. You just twist and separate. Any Todd? There's some Todd over here.
No, that is the app.
What?
What's that? 4 for 10? Yeah.
Okay. All right.
He didn't go too far anyway.
What's that?
He's not going too far.
Yeah.
So we're in Yakomix? Yakomix?
Yeah, comics.
Yakomix. Oren, right?
Yeah.
So you just opened the shop, right? Like
3 months
recently.
ago, April 1st.
Nice.
Yeah, I was in a consignment mall for like November of last year.
I remember.
But I didn't have the span of control I needed over my books.
Fair
didn't
enough.
have like a proper back room. Really didn't have the space because I can fill a lot of space.
Sure, comics do take up space, especially when you've got.
Well, and you can't stack them. And like I keep my independence on the floor,
Mm-hmm.
but it really discourages looking through. Like people, like all sorts of shops have different methods and stuff. But you just have to use the square footage. That's
Sure.
waist height. You
I mean,
can't
it's-
go higher. You can't go lower.
Right. It's
I got-
us old guys can't
I know, right?
with our
And,
knees.
Like I try to come up with solutions, but it just doesn't.
Right on.
And the cases I got the day I signed the lease, it just happened to work out perfectly.
Cool.
These are just extra books, mostly from you, that I want to swap for more.
All right, I am in the headquarters of 50% of the hit YouTube show, Paper and Plastic, starring Dr. Plagueis. So this is your PC, right?
Yes. Yeah.
And it's also your studio. It's also your hangout room. It's also where you keep unbagged, unboarded Savage Tales #1s and Vampirella #1s. That's generally how I live my life too. And you know, first appearances of the Punisher, which this is all from a collection that I'm going to look at. Possibly buying some, all, many, a little bit. What's your favorite book that you own?
Maybe the Tomb of Dracula 10 over there on the wall next to Ahsoka.
Where's Ahsoka? Where's my lover?
Lenticular bullshit.
Oh yeah, there you go. I do love Rosario Dawson a lot more than I'll ever love Blade, but that's a nice copy. And it even has a
$200 worth.
geez, $200, and it's got some nice little date. I think sometimes seeing that stuff on a comic
I
is
love
cool.
that.
Yeah. What about your who's your favorite artist? Have we ever talk about that?
Neil Adams.
Neil Adams. Yeah, he was pretty good.
Ron Lim.
That's right, Ron Lim.
It's kind of like you got to break it down generationally, right?
Sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
And one of your favorite characters is a favorite character that we both share, right there, Usagi Yojimbo.
Yeah.
So,
Fortunately, no Albedo 1. Otherwise,
no,
or
2.
Otherwise, there would be no question what my favorite book is.
Yeah, we'll get you one of those one day.
We're working there.
Yeah, we'll get you one of those. They're out there.
Yeah.
All right, let's go look at some comics.
We'll get right back to the video, but I want to let you know I am doing a giveaway on this channel and my podcast channel, Direct Edition. Once I hit 8,000 subscribers here on West Coast Davengers and 500 on Direct Edition, I'm going to give away this McFarlane Jazz Hands Spidey Secret Wars 8 statue. I'm going to do it on a live stream, so all you have to do is hang on to the live stream and I'll give it away. My podcast called Direct Edition is where I'm bringing all my interviews, comics, artists, musicians, people that I find interesting that I want to introduce to my community. That's you. So subscribe to Direct Edition and subscribe to West Coast Avengers if you're not already. And let's go back to the comics.
Comic here. So you just picked this collection up.
Yeah, I just picked this up. It was probably 3 times larger than this. So I've, you know, sifted through the bulk of it and provided that to my local LCS. And obviously I held on to, you know, the stuff that hopefully is
Higher end.
yeah, gonna make my money back and maybe and then some. So yeah, been a roller coaster of emotions for the last week while I worked on securing this.
Yeah, you told me how tough it was dealing with the person who owned this.
Yeah.
Even though they were quote unquote trying to move on with it.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, totally.
You know, I mean, that's what I always find interesting is like people that are motivated to sell, but then aren't really motivated to sell.
Right. They're motivated to sell until they find out what they have.
Right.
And they find out what they have by the offer you make on them. So, you know, probably should have started much lower than I did.
Understandable. I mean, look, you don't do this all the time. This isn't your day-to-day job, which it is for me.
Yeah.
But it's still a beautiful collection. I mean, there's some good books in here. I mean, you could say that, right? You know, like some people might have you know, said that this is a good book. I don't know.
Something like that.
Yeah, first appearance of this little Canadian fella.
Yeah. I never heard of him.
This is one of the coolest things. I actually bought one of these from Chris Cheddar. Like,
okay.
Actually, yeah, I did. I bought it from Cheddar. I didn't know it existed. It's a literal Bernie Wrightson coloring book. Yeah. It's like one of the most beautiful things I've ever seen. I mean, his black and white line work. There's not too many people that have done it better.
Yeah. My daughter really wants to color this.
Yeah, that's, you know, sure, I wouldn't let her, but hey.
Her big break into the industry.
Yeah, there you go. How'd you get started? Well, you know, I ruined my dad's Bernie Wrightson coloring book. And technically it was meant to be colored, but it was meant to be colored 1974 or whenever this came out, not in 2025. And it's Phil Seuling, one of the OG comic guys. Man, these early GI combats are dope.
They're really clean.
Man, these smell old.
Yeah.
That's a good book. I've heard of Jack Kirby before. 12 center. It's interesting that it says C. It's not like the dollar, the cent sign.
Yep.
Wonder if this is a. No, it's not a V. It's not a different. He just had random Dave Stevens in there.
He had books as new as 2017.
That's weird.
Yeah, it was bizarre and like total speculation too. Like 10 copies of some 2017 X-Men series, and then some 10-cent shit. Yeah.
First Deathlock, first Howard the Duck, right?
Yep.
In comic. Yeah, you don't see this book every day. I love that book. And then this is
First solo.
First solo, right? Hey. 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 Hey.
Yeah.
I mean, this is one of the greatest. And this one, did we check to see if it's the error?
I don't believe so.
No, it's not.
Yeah. We did.
Remember when people wanted that book?
Yeah, no, dude. Don't get me started.
Cerebus 2, there was no number 1. I mean, it's no slouch either. You don't find that book anywhere, ever. I love this cover. Killer.
Those Nick Fury covers are very underappreciated. Yeah.
Yep. Didn't do a ton of work, Steranko, in comics, but what he did, he left his mark. First Great Capullo. Yeah. It's funny that like kind of goes with the evil, you know, first Evil Ernie. Yeah. And then what's this coverless?
Coverless 3.
3.
Yeah.
I just sold the coverless 4 recently.
Yep. I almost bought it actually.
But you didn't.
I know.
And you didn't.
Well, someone claimed it before me.
Yeah. So that's the name of the game, you know? I'm tired of looking at Thor books. There's Havok. First Jack Russell Terrier. Was there a first Mooney in here?
Fortunately not, no.
Is there a 10?
Danced right around it, dude.
Which is weird. Which
Yeah.
means maybe he sold it at some point.
From what I heard, he had been selling some off, and he totally had, like, no...
So yeah, I mean, and look, it's not hard to do this, so I won't sweat it. But if you're looking for some great comics, and you don't want to buy them from me, you can visit Dr. Plagueis on Instagram. He has a account called Bin Sifter, but I want him to change it to Bin Sniffer, where he sells these books, and you're going to be able to get some great books from him. Also, he's got a great YouTube channel called Paper and Plastic, a show that he co-hosts with the Sloth Master. So I'll put all those links down below. But Jacob, thank you for this collection. I'm going to go through this more and probably do another little haul video from it, show you the first appearance of the rhino. You can't kill him because he's an endangered species. The Jack Kirby issue of Silver Surfer, some great Marvel horror. How about the Sinister House of Secret Love? That's where I live in my mind. And some Bernie Wrights and Swamp Thing. Yeah. So, thank you.
Awesome, yeah.
Why don't we take a look at the comics right now? Okay, so we'll just start with some of the magazines. Now, like I said, this isn't everything. This is just kind of some interesting stuff or some really high-priced stuff or rare. Tales from the Crypt, this is not your EC Comics magazine. This is just like one of these weird kind of knockoffs. It's an eerie book, but it's taking like weirdo 50s stuff and reprinting it. This magazine came out in 1968, and these are definitely not 68 comics. These are 50s comics. But look at that cover. It's so, like, off in so many ways. Next up is a very hard-to-find book, a very expensive book for what it is. This is Richard Corbin's Fantagor #1, self-published. So this is before it went to Last Gasp. It's a magazine size. You can see there's some foxing here. He only did 1,500 of these, and he did it out of Kansas City. This would kind of kickstart his career in a major way. And, Corbin was ahead of the curve every single step of the way. I have to balance this one against my copy and see which one I want to keep. But this is definitely not something you see every day. I own 2 out of the 1,500 copies. That means there's only 1,498 of them out there. I just picked out one of these, Vampirella 13. It's just an early Vampirella. We all know who she is. We love her. Maybe not, but I do. That's just cool, right? I did get like 4 different issues, or 3 different issues of Web of Horror, I should say. Bernie Wrightson cover, and this is the 3rd issue, and I think they never released the 4th, or they never released the 5th, but they just collected it in hardcover via Fantagraphics. But it's always fun to get these single issues, especially when it's a Bernie Wrightson, very heavy Bernie Wrightson issue. But you got Bruner, Kaluta, Bernie, Bruce Jones. There's some good stuff in these. And then there's that. A beautiful copy of Savage Tales #1. First appearance of the Man-Thing. And classic stuff. I may have to get this pressed. I don't know if I'll submit it, but I think it needs a press. The back has a little warping on it. Not from water or anything, just from general magazine warping. But that's a Savage Tales #1. A beautiful copy, as I said. Yeah, I'm going to show off some of the underground stuff, and then we'll get to the comic size stuff. But speaking of the comic size stuff, how about some comic underground stuff? Robert Williams doing the very classic cover for Cocaine Comics #3. Robert Williams would go on to be one of the greatest artists of the underground generation. And for those of you that don't really know the underground, you might recognize his artwork from Appetite for Destruction. The original artwork is Robert Williams, the one that ends up becoming the inside cover. Then there's Dan O'Neill's Air Pirates Funnies, which is a, this sparked some real big ire from Disney. But this is a great book, and there's several copies in this collection of issue #1. I think there's maybe an issue #2 in there, or 3. But Dan O'Neill, this is 1970s, very controversial book, but also one of those books that is a must-have for any fan of underground and
the outsider stuff. All right, here's Zam Comics. I got a ton of these mini ones, all different stuff that was published in the Bay Area. This looks like a Bill Griffin piece here, but I think there's Crumb in this one too. Yeah. Let's see. Spain Rodriguez. Most of this stuff is extremely adult-centric, obviously, but whatever. I'm going to show it off anyway. Speaking of adult-centric, we've got Snatch Comics from R. Crumb, the king of the underground and one of the greatest living artists on the face of the earth. But he went by R. Crumb. Yeah, I can't show too much of this. I don't want to get in trouble. But yeah, there's that. So check this out. There were a bunch of these Pandemonium Expresses, which is this like 3-page mini. But what's really interesting here is that there is some cartoons in here. There are some strips in here. Let me see if they're in this one. Yes, by a guy named Kevin East. Now, I didn't really think anything of it, but that's 1974, right? So that's probably too young for it to be somebody with the name Kevin Eastman. But then I found this, Bad Girl Art from 1982. Kevin B. Eastman. And that is Kevin Eastman. The Kevin Eastman that would go on to co-create the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles with Peter Laird. He was doing underground stuff in the early 80s, very late 70s. He was sending it over, I guess, to guys that were producing this out in Berkeley. And it was adult underground stuff. I don't think that him and Peter ever did anything in the same underground piece, but these are extremely hard to come by. Words like reading stuff about there being maybe less than 500 of these types of books that he was involved in. So yeah, that's a pretty cool piece of comic history. Bill Griffith, Zippy the Clown. Rip-Off Press, 1977. I don't know if this is the first appearance of Zippy in Zippy Stories 1. I'm sure somebody will chime in the comments, but I do love the red, just all red and whites. Cool stuff. I thought this was really, really interesting. 4 sketchbooks and a table of useful information, but there's some great people in here. There's Bill Griffith, Art Spiegelman, Spain Rodriguez, and Justin Green. Not familiar with Justin Green, obviously familiar with the others. Just very interesting. You know, how many of these exist? How many of these were printed to begin with? 100, 200, 1,000? You know, very interesting stuff. Great. Here's another one that I thought was pretty cool. There was 2 different ones of these. This is a Wonder Woman new zine. So it's a fanzine called Princessions. Diana Princessions. But I thought it was cool. There was this heroin addict and another club. There was Adrian Foster, I'm not sure, but a Star Wars column in here. And this would be 1977, so this would be when Star Wars came out. So I'm definitely going to read that. Check that out. That's so awesome. From the TV show, obviously. I don't know who drew this one, but it's pretty cool. So yeah, this was also awesome. If you're a fan of Art Crumb and some of the underground guys, there's some of these. They're not exactly greeting cards, but they. Oh yeah, they are. I didn't realize that they opened up. So they're blank greeting cards. I don't know who Jay Osborne is, but obviously I know who Robert Crumb is, and Bill Griffith. Let's see if there are any others in here. It came with the envelopes. Oh, yeah. Rip. Looks like Basil Wolverton a little bit, but I guess it's not. Trina Robbins doing one here. Another Crumb. And then this one I don't know. Oh. Chicken Mint. It's got to be a pseudonym anyway. That's, I mean, just the tip of the iceberg on the underground stuff. I got an entire long box of underground, lots of multiple copies of different Zap comics and, you know, all that good stuff. I forgot about this. Air Pirates Funnies. This is the 1972. It's like a newspaper. And I think like this stuff coming out of the, you know, the Bay Area, the hippie movement, the underground movement, this is such an interesting thing. And this is not the only cool newspaper style thing I got here. No, no, no. No, no, no. We got King B from Apex Novelty. This looks like a crumb. I'm assuming it is, but there's no credits in this. There's credits on some of the individual stuff, but there's no credit for the cover. I think a lot of the guys didn't want to put their names out there if they could help it, you know? Then there's Gothic Blimp Works with a beautiful Robert Williams cover of, I guess he was a artist, Antonio Gaudi. I had this print. I had the print of this cover. I sold it for a lot of money. But this is another one. See, this looks like Bernie. But it's Pernell Primkernel, which is probably a fake name. A lot of these guys use fake names. And then finally, some legit art crumb. Showed too much of this just because I don't want to get YouTube trouble. There's this, which is, that's why I have the camera up so high so you can see the size of this thing versus a regular comic. This is the Bernie Wrightson Color the Creature book. Look at it. Look at it. And what's cool is each thing has some text, like a poem or, you know, I mean, is it a poem? Is it a sonnet? Is it a, you know, are they lyrics? Most likely a poem. But you can just get to see this amazing line work from one of the greatest artists ever to work in the medium of comics and even outside of comics. The hyper detail, the creatures, just Bernie Wrightson. I mean, I can never get tired of looking at this. So we're going to look through the whole thing because it's not that big. This is my second copy, but I think this one's in better condition, so I probably will keep this one. If I decide to sell one, it'll be the other. It's about as close to Swamp Thing as he's going to do without DC Comics wanting a piece of this. And look, suggestions for the demented colorist: gaping graveyard green, bloated blue, raw reeking red, moist maggoty magenta. I love it. And that back cover, I'd love a sticker or a shirt of that. All right, but it's what you came to see, so why don't we give you the main event? And that is, these are the biggest books that I got. Yeah, Uncanny 133, which isn't a huge book, but it's not a small book. This is a big book. First of all, Polaris, all that, but this is the Jim Steranko designing what would be known as the X-Men trade dress going forward, and the one we know and love. First appearance of the Rhino in a low grade, ASM 41. First appearance of Evil Ernie and Lady Death. I've never owned this book before. I've never even had it. So there's that. Evil Ernie #1. This thing does not have a huge print run, and that's why it's super sought after. Greatest Neil Adams book of all time. That's it. Period. It's great. It's a great cover, right? Legendary cover, but the interior artwork and story is fantastic. And it's kind of where, you know, you transform the Joker into a psychopath instead of just a ridiculous clown. Silver Surfer #3, the first appearance of Mephisto. Classic. You guys saw a lot of this in the footage, but I just want to show you now that they have new bags and boards. Malibu Sun #13, and something that's known about this book is it generally has a little staple rust, but it's not too bad. My copy is actually worse than that. Little Underground Goodness by R. Crumb, Stoned #1, 1968. Werewolf by Night #1. X-Men 58, first Havoc in the costume and first Havoc. Where Spotlight #2, first appearance of Jack Russell, aka Werewolf by Night. Amazing Spider-Man 33, where Spidey learns that he has super strength, and just one of the greatest Ditko books of all time. King Size Special #1, King Size Hulk Special #1. I don't need to tell you what this is. Look at it. First appearance of Conan #1. This is my third copy in a month and a half. Vault of Horror. There wasn't too much pre-code, but I got what was in there. Vault of Horror #36, a great Johnny Craig cover. I flipped through this. This is a beat-up copy, but this is not. This is in beautiful condition for its age. This is Vault of Horror number 28, another Johnny Craig cover. I flipped through this. It's low grade, but it's not like super low grade. I have it as a 3.5 to a 4.0. I got 2 copies of this, but this is the first print. R. Crumb's Comics and Stories. The other one has a price on it, and I think it has an Apex Novelties logo on it or something like that. But that was written on there. So this is definitely a first print. Then there's that. You guys know him. Franklin Castle. First appearance of the Punisher, ASM 129. I have this like a near mint, VF plus near mint minus. It's a beautiful copy. It's just got some foxing on it, and that's really it. There it is, Marvel Spotlight number 5. First appearance of the man they call Ghost Rider. He's a motorcycle hero. And then finally, Strange Tales 110. The first appearance of Mr. Doctor Strange, and Paste Pot Pete. It's not the first appearance of Paste Pot Pete, but he's in it. There he is. So, yeah. Delighted to own this. I think these 3 may already be sold, which will earn a little more than half my money back, which means I'll be in the clear pretty quick. All right, so this is, like I said, just a little sliver of what you're going to see. Some of this stuff, some of the bigger books, I actually am probably going to just sell right away and make my money back, paying $7,000 for everything. It will be one of those things that I will make probably double that over time with the underground stuff and just kind of like the Silver Age minor keys and stuff like that. Once you sell 400 comics at, $30 a piece, you make a decent amount of money back. And that's not including the big books too. So there's a couple things that I'm keeping. I may keep this because what's the point in owning one when you can own 2? Some of the R. Crumb stuff, some of the weird things that I may never see again, I'm going to hold on to because I am very much of the mind that some of these books, even if you're like me, buying collections and going hunting for them, you may never see them again. When it comes to stuff like ASM 129 and Marvel Spotlight 5, they come and go. They come and go. But I want to say thanks to Jacob. I want to give a shout out to Paper and Plastic YouTube channel. You can find the links in the description below for that. You can find him on Instagram under Bin Sifter to buy comics from him. And there's also Dr. Plagueis to follow his really cool posts that he does where he puts a figure next to the comic. Shout out to Oren and Yakomix in Yakima. Shout out to everybody that I met that day. It was a lot of fun. It really felt like just being around the people that I interact with on this channel. So for me, I'm going to keep digging. You can find these comics for sale at my next sale, which may be a 2-day sale after you watch this. So go to the live tab on my YouTube and make sure that you click the bell so you're notified when I go live. Direct Edition has its own website. You can find it on YouTube. You can find it on Spotify, Apple, Amazon, all the places where you get your podcasts. So anyway, keep digging. Stay thirsty? I don't know, whatever the fucking kids say. Peace.